Good morning, everyone. This is Brenda from Mainly Hybrid Homesteading. Beautiful morning here in southern Maine. I thought today is July 1st. I can't believe it's already July 1st. I wanted to do another garden update for you. We have some things that are growing well and some things that were growing well and are starting to struggle, and because of some bugs that are infesting the plants. So we'll turn you around here and we will get started. So some herbs that I had started last year are really taking off this year. And one of those is our chamomile here. I haven't harvested any flowers yet this year, but really doing much better. It's already taller than it was last year. So glad to see it coming back and getting well established, as well as our lemon balm is also doing very well. And I did harvest some of that, just a little bit of it last night to make some tea for a natural repellent for aphids. So looks like so our echinacea is also doing very well. This is echinacea that I had started from seed, and it's getting ready to flower, and you can see that the Japanese beetles are a little too active here, so I may need to make a spray for them. But let's go into the main part of the garden. Oh, before we do that, here is my parsley. This is the only thing growing in this raised bed here. And as you can see, it did grow back from last year, and as you can see, I haven't done anything with that, but look how tall it is. It's about 3 feet tall, and looks like it's flowering or going to seed. More Japanese beetles. They are definitely hatching. Our hostas are getting ready to flower. So we have our 2 raised beds in here with string beans, and the pole beans came up nicely, and I did have to replant some of the bush beans because the first planting, not all of them came up. But we have an infestation of aphids, and I don't know if you can see them here. These plants were doing excellent 2 or 3 days ago, but when I came to see them last evening, they looked, as you can see, looks like they have been dry, but they actually haven't been dry. We've had pretty regular rain, and they're just, the aphids were devouring them. This bed does not seem to be, well, the plants are a little peaked, I guess, and the pole beans are getting ready to find something to climb on. They're not quite long enough to reach for the trellis here. But I do have calendula in each corner, or I planted calendula in each corner of the raised beds, and not all of it came up, but I had used seed that I had harvested last year, so I was happy to see that these are growing. So getting back to the beans, I made some lemon balm tea last evening, and I'm going to be spraying them on the beans today. I was also reading that, like a soapy spray, that the beans don't do well with it. So we're going to try the lemon balm tea, and I'll let you know how that worked. So we do have our tomato plants here. We have a couple that aren't doing too badly. This one has a little tomato on it. And and this one got totally chomped by something. Don't know if it was a little chipmunk or some bugs, but it looks more like an animal would have got to it. And the pepper plant here looks a little anemic, I guess. It should be nice and green. Our potatoes are doing very well. The plants definitely look much more vigorous than the ones we planted last year in our other garden over there. But I have seen some activity with potato beetles, so I think these are going to need a treatment of some soapy water mixture to help them along. So here we have our peas, and we had some 95-degree weather for 3 days about a week and a half or so ago, and they really didn't like that. Plus I saw some plants that were literally just pulled out of the ground, so some activity with either birds or chipmunks. But I have a couple plants that look promising, so maybe we will get some peas for snacking on. And here is our cucumber patch. These are still growing. And over here, our comfrey is still growing well. I'm not sure why these two plants in the front here are like a darker color, a darker green than these back here. I don't know if it's because these are getting more sun, but they are all healthy, and I do need to harvest some leaves because I want to make some comfrey salve. We've all had some aches and pains with all the renovations we've been doing, so that'll come in handy for the future for sure, and much cheaper to make your own. So this was my radish patch. I was able to harvest one, and then you can see that the one in there has gone to seed. Something definitely got they all came up. I had like 4 nice little rows, but either the birds or the chipmunks got them. So our berry plants are still doing well. This one is really doing well. I think it's a raspberry plant, and just weeded this area out last evening. It was really overgrown. You can see that the rest of the garden that we didn't plant is overgrown with weeds, and I think I'm just going to weed whack this area and let the natural mulch just kind of add more nutrition for next year. And look at the wild lettuce, guys. It's taller than me and I'm 5'3". So definitely flowering, and this is very interesting. I was here last evening and these pretty little flowers were not open. And I don't know if they just open during the day, because I've always been here in the evening and the little buds have been closed. At any rate, I wonder if it's going to go to seed and I can collect the seeds. But last year, if you were here with us, the wild lettuce was only like about 6 or 8 inches tall. It was just getting established, and well, definitely established now. This is another thing that I really need to harvest, because I have found the wild lettuce useful for pain, for aches and pains. So definitely something I want to make a tincture with instead of buying my own, because it is more expensive. So here we have a couple blueberry plants, and they're doing well. I just have them covered with some netting, keep the deer away from them. And Tim had planted just some random potatoes that were sprouting, and those are growing. So overall, the garden is doing okay. I probably would have caught those aphids a little earlier. I think they're just kind of hiding today because of the sun, but they were Definitely, like, there was clusters of them around the plants yesterday. So it just goes to show, like, 2 or 3 days away from the garden, you can definitely miss a pest infestation. But we have been extremely busy with our renovation. We are just plowing ahead to get it done as soon as possible. And so I'm going to try this lemon balm tea on the green beans and probably make another mixture for my other plants that the Japanese beetles seem to be loving. So I will let you know how this works, and I'm hoping that the green beans will bounce back. If we can get rid of the aphids, I think that will be very helpful. I want to thank you for joining me today. Please let me know how your garden is doing this summer. If there's anything new that you've tried planting, or maybe you're cutting back like I am. I just cut back because I knew that I was going to be very busy this summer, and definitely would rather have planted some more in the second garden, but it would have just been neglected. Thanks for joining me today. Please like and share this video, and we will see you next time. Bye.